a mistake because are still ordinary human. But the important thing is aware to admit and be willing to change. We will learn from two biblical figures. They are very close to Jesus. Every time and every day they are heard the teaching of Christ, but were never spared from mistake and transgression. We will learn how both have different ways to responding to their regrets. The first biblical figure is Simon Peter. In Luke chapter 22, verse 54 to 62, explain how Peter denied Jesus. Here are some facts that Peter has done. The first, follow from afar. The two, deny Jesus at 3 times. And the last, after Jesus looked at him, Peter remembered Jesus' word that he will deny Jesus at 3 times before the roast crowd. When the Peter found out what he has done, he went away sad, and he wept. The word weep here used the word eclipsing, which means to lament. The word sad used the Greek word pikros, which means bitter or sad. We can see the Peter preferred to leave the place and confess his mistake. This is a positive response. The second biblical figure is Judas Iscariot. Judas was the last of the 12 disciples chosen by Jesus. The most striking case when he heard the name of Judas was the betrayal he committed by selling Jesus for 30 pieces of silver. The fact that occurred from the incident of Judas is Judas' regret. He said that I have sinned by shedding the blood of the innocents. This means that Judas is aware and disappointed in himself for having sold the most precious thing in him. And Judas also realized that the silver money that was once profitable is now a catastrophe in his life. And the second, he left the place where he betrayed Jesus. Judas' response is not good because he regret and his action by ending his life. He bore everything on his own. In his mind, he must have been scared and ashamed because as a student, he had betrayed his teacher. He used kiss, which at that time as a sign of love, become a sign of betrayal. Based on this figure, we know that knowing God alone is not a guarantee for us not to make mistake. Peter was saddened by his denial of Jesus, and he took a stance to change. Judas admitted that he had sinned against the Lord Jesus, but his attitude was wrong. That is, to end his life. As if there was no other way to express his remorse. Through these two characters, what should we do when we regret? The first, confess your fault before the Lord. It is very too late when we have made a mistake. We must be aware that although we are very spiritual, but there is a time when we fall. But God never abandoned us. He is ready to accept our repentance as long as we come with a sincere heart. Second is leave the things that have passed. The mistakes that have been made will indeed disturb everyone's mind a lot, but that is no reason for us to constantly be a circle of regret and shoot ourselves up. God wants everyone us to rise up and well back together with the Lord. With our own strength, we are in it. But with the Lord Jesus, we can go through the dark past. And the last, make a fresh start. Each of us has an old sheet full of dark past already. We don't need to use the same sheet if we want to change. Use a new sheet and start a new story with the Lord. Personally, I have been in this position. I've made a mistake that I think it's very fatal. In the past, when I made the mistake, I was sorry, but my attitude was not to talk to anyone and start to confine myself. But I know that this attitude of mine is tantamount to killing my own character and making me a bad person. But nowadays, after I have received the grace of God, I'm slowly starting to change myself. When I make the mistake, I always reflect and pray. I ask God forgiveness for what I have done, and in the future, I will be able to take a good attitude and be able to control myself. The conclusion is, it's not too late to change ourselves. Through these two characters, we learn two ways how to regret. We regret with a good response or false response. So let us walk in the way of